Hey everybody, Marco here, and welcome to another pencil mark video. I have not recorded anything in a long time, so I'm kind of out of it. But yeah, I just wanted to make a quick little video here. Well, no, it's not quick or little. It's going to actually take a long time, but basically I went to Logic Masters 2023, and it was quite fun. Here's the website with a bunch of pictures on it. Here's me, not being able to look into the camera, and here's all of us. Again, I am incapable of looking into the camera properly. And yeah, this was the in-person tournament for the top 40 of the online qualifier. And in person, I placed ninth. It was pretty good for my first time being at the in-person Logic Puzzle Championship. The Sudoku one doesn't count. No, it actually does, but I'm just not good at Sudoku in general. But yeah, the pictures of the event and all the puzzles from the event have been uploaded online, so if you want, you can take a look at the puzzles. I'm just basically going to make this video to talk a little bit about the event, and then, I guess this will be over time, but I'll cover probably what I think is one cool puzzle from each round. It'll be more like a walkthrough solve rather than a live solve, because all of those I either solved during the event or I post solved afterwards. But yeah, I just wanted to show you some cool stuff that was at this event, puzzle-wise, basically. So I actually signed up for this event kind of late. Like, I wanted to see how well the Sudoku Championship went, like, not points-wise, but if I felt okay during it. And it went alright enough that I decided, okay, sure, let's register for this as well. So I just barely made the deadline for registering in the actual competition itself. I missed the hotel deadline though, so I actually had to stay at a different hotel than the one the competition was taking place at, which was a better idea on paper than in person because this was at um, a Tagungszentrum. That's what they call it. It's like the hotel with, you know, a big room dedicated to events. So people stay at the hotel and people also go to the event space. I forgot what it's called in English. But yeah, this was called Auf dem Heiligenberg, on the Holy Mountain. You know, people just call their hotels whatever. But of course, it was on an actual mountain. I had to climb up about 20 minutes on the day of to get there. And I got no sleep on the day of the competition because my hotel was in a little bit more of a noisy area. And then I went by a bakery to get some breakfast on the way, but the bakery was closed. They didn't update their summer hours on Google Maps, so that was an incredible time for me. I arrived there, no sleep, no breakfast, out of breath. I was just in incredible shape for this competition. But yeah, it got better over time, over the course of the day, but if any MIT mystery hunt solvers know anything, um, after getting no sleep, that's when your brain is like truly active and you truly enter the galaxy brain zone for puzzles. So yeah, that was fun. So let me get into showing you some actual puzzles from the event. So this first round here was called Herzlich Willkommen, which is like just a way of saying welcome, like a formal way. And I mean, really, it means heartfelt welcome. Of course, this is just like a thing people say, but of course, what this actually meant was that every single puzzle was in the shape of heart. So this was a cute little welcome round. Um, all the puzzles here only went up to 25 points at max, and that was the cockroach at the end. I got most of these except I broke the cave and the Masu earlier, and I didn't finish the capsules one here, which was like a very scan heavy puzzle that just took a lot of time. But yeah, everything else here I actually managed to get, which was pretty nice considering my sleep-deprived state. The one that I want to show you all is this Voxas here, which actually had some pretty funny logic. All the other ones were just sort of like a puzzle on a hard grid, and you could probably have the same kind of puzzle in a square grid that used similar logic. But this heart puzzle here was cute. So let me just fix my colors real quick. I'm gonna use uh, blue here for the solution. So like for the longest time here, I stared at this 23 to try to figure out some sort of starting deduction, because usually the starting deductions in Voxas um yeah, based on the points. But yeah, let me quickly go over the rules of Voxas. We have to separate the grid into rectangles that are either size 1 by 2 or 1 by 3, and they can be horizontal or vertical. If there's a horizontal point like this, that means that the two rectangles that are adjacent to it, they share both the same properties. If it's black dot like this, both properties are different. So it'll be a horizontal 1 by 3 is going to be opposite vertical 1 by 2 and stuff like that. And if it's a gray dot, then that means one property is the same, one property is different. So here we have a horizontal 1 by 3 and a vertical 1 by 3. That's basically the idea. Every single space has to be a part of one of those rectangles. So yeah, for the longest time, usually the starting deduction happens with some dots, right? So I stared at this big 23 for a long time, and then I realized, wait a sec, we have this weird zigzag shape here, and that actually gives us a lot of info for our starting deductions. I'm gonna use red here for shape things that are definitely connected, and blue for borders. But yeah, as you can see, this is just kind of a funny start here. Just the grid geometry gives us all of this, and after a whole bunch of puzzles where the starting deduction was just not there at all, it was just kind of a little funny haha moment that the starting deduction was hidden like this. Well, not really hidden. You get what I mean. But yeah, after we get all of these definite 1 by 2s, some of which can go to 1 by 3s, we do actually end up getting to that touch the gray dots. Here, we do have the black dot here. There's the vertical 1 by 2. It's got to touch a horizontal 1 by 3. And that gives us the vertical 1 by 3 here, since we can't have a horizontal 1 by 2, obviously. This dead end goes out. This dead end goes out here and gives us a vertical shape here. Over here, this vertical 1 by 2 has to border a horizontal 1 by 2. We can't have this go up here now because that would make both properties opposite. So this is going to be a horizontal 1 by 3. And we get another horizontal 1 by 3 opposite the white dot. This is now vertical here. We can't close this off because that would mean we need a 1 by 3 up above this black dot. So we do just end up with, yeah, this pattern here for the upper left section. And now for, yeah, the 1 by 3 here, it's facing a 1 by 2 since we can't have a 1 by 3 going up. This thing here is going to be a vertical 1 by 2. This is going to be a horizontal 1 by 2, and it has to go up because if it goes down, then this would be a white dot too. We do end up dividing the grid here. Let me just get the right side first. Because of this zigzag pattern, again, with the edge of the board, we end up with this space above the black dot being part of a horizontal rectangle, so it's vertical underneath. we do have a 1 by 2 here, which has to be next to 1 by 3, and that does give us the rest here. So now we just have to finish up the top left. This gray dot gives us a 1 by 2. Down here, there's the 1 by 3. And there's the rest done for the Voxas. I just thought it was a really funny puzzle because you stare at this 23 after all of these other puzzles where the starting deduction is just somewhere up top and not a part of the and doesn't involve the grid's geometry at all. And then you have this. So that was a very nice warm-up round here. And now this second round. This second round was really, really rough. Basically, yeah, the round was called Hexed, and all of the puzzles were on a hexagonal grid. These are your fairly standard genres that you do see on non-hexagonal grids, on regular square grids. Tren is a little bit of uncommon genre, as is Araf. This Araf puzzle was fairly hard to post-solve. But yeah, there are also some other weird genres. I did not solve the pills puzzle here. That was, yeah, a lot of numbers. This numbered rooms here was aggravating. I broke it very late into the solve. But I did get some of the lower point puzzles and some of the higher point puzzles, like the Slitherlink here and the ripple effect. But I did spend a lot of time on this castle wall, and it broke, and I was sad. And yeah, this is the one from this round that I do want to show you because castle wall on a hexagonal grid just makes the logic that much harder. And this is probably going to be the majority of the video. Anyways, I've copied it over here. Standard castle wall rules so we have to draw a single loop that connects the centers of cells. This one is going to be on a hexagonal grid, so the loop can basically go in, I don't know, a whole bunch of different directions here. 6 directions instead of 4, or 3 instead of 2, if you will. All of the bordered cells here, the white cells, those are inside the loop. All of the black cells are outside the loop. Gray cells, sometimes they exist, in this case they don't, are either inside or outside. And all of the numbers refer to the total length of loop segments in that direction. So I guess a general thing for Castle Wall is that you want to figure out the topology of the puzzle in general. So this loop is going to look something like this, where we're going to, draw lines in between every pair of black and white cells, basically, that are a little bit apart. So, something like this. And then they either connect up above and close here, or connect here and close here. Now, these are just like the rough lines. So this line could go something like this. I mean, this. Or this, just skipping that region entirely. I just want to sort of get the rough idea. But for this here, I do see the one clue, which could be very restricting to if we have this sort of general path here. Because if we try to make a path that has as few horizontal segments here as possible, or like 2 that go through here, I guess it is kind of possible, but the one is very restrictive. But let's try to, so from this one, I did guess early on that the connection was going to happen at the bottom. But yeah, let's get to actually solving this here. I'm going to use red for blockages, basically, and blue for the actual loop. So I may be re-recording this after breaking it again, which is an oof. Anyways, our first deduction here are these two one clues, how they interact. Because this one clue either gives us a line segment here or a line segment here. This one clue either gives us a line segment here or a line segment here. That means we can't have a line segment here or a line segment here because that gives us three things that enter this area. So this one clue is limited to a line segment in this place here. That's how we get that. This one clue either gives us a line segment here or here. So we can X out these. This 2 clue gives us line segments like so. This line here is going to come up this way somehow. It can either do this or that, or it can do that, but it goes up like this. This one goes down either here or here. Whoops. So we can just draw some borders in this space. We're not going to go that way with the loop. This 2, it has 3 possible loop segments here. But if we draw both at the bottom, then this one clue is going to break. So we have a similar pattern that we did here, essentially. So this is going to be a loop segment here. Over here, we draw 2 X's in these spots. Now with this segment here, because this one is also on the outside, either both lines go to the left or they go to the right somehow. But I don't think they can go to the left because that means that either this thing, can't properly close, connect to the rest of the loop, or this one here is going to be caught in the inside. So both of these do go to the right. I guess we can also say that no connection happens here in general. No lines go up to this area. We can mark that like this, I guess. Also, this will be unoccupied as well. So we can put 2 lines here to show the connection going down. This 0 is going to block off these spaces. I guess one of the 2 things for the 2 is occupied now. So that connection up top being blocked does mean that we need some stuff to connect at the bottom. So I think we definitely do have this line here and these below it. That does give us both things for this 2 clue. This is somehow going to be the line that ends up going like this, and this is going to somehow connect to this. So this line, because of the 0 and the 2, this has to go up. Meaning this has to go up like this, taking one of the 2's here. And now we have this 2 and this 1 clue, creating a weird pattern in this area. If we had a horizontal line segment somewhere, or just a line segment in the direction of this 2 somewhere else up above, it'll create all these ticks in the way, and the 2 would have to zigzag like this, but that would put 2 segments on this 1 clue. So that means this middle here is either going to be like so, or, like so and so, or so and so. To exhaust both the 1 and the 2, and then we can't have anything else going in those directions anywhere else in that arrow's direction. This is tough even on a resolve. I'm breaking this all over the place. So that means whatever is here is going to have to end up zigzagging like so. And it can't touch this because we do need something else going down here. So the line that's coming up around here definitely ends up going straight like this. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll see. There's a 3 that's not quite limited yet, but is close to getting limited. Right. Because of these limitations here now, this definitely is going horizontally, so we can X this out. And that gives us a bunch more up top here. This can still go one of two ways, but the rest is filled out. Yeah, that does give us our 2 over here. We can X that out, and we could connect up top. Oh yeah, with the 1 clue we can also make dashes in these spots. That gives us this connection over here on the left side. And this 2 clue here, this 2 clue is filled out. So we can dash all these here. Now we can't have a line segment going through this cell on the upper left, because that gives us 2 in that direction, and there's the 1 clue up here, so it doesn't work with that. It does give us the rest of this bit, and we do need something touching this cell to satisfy the 1 clues over here and here. So these clues all are satisfied now. Oh yeah, I should mark this 2 off too. This 2 going down, we've got that. So these segments are X'd out. This connects. We still have 2 possible connections here and here, but we know these are together now. And if we don't have the 2 lines here, we can't satisfy the 3 down below, so it definitely goes around this way. And then we just need 1 more line for the 3. Yeah. Because of these dashes here, these 2 line segments are grouped up as well, and with the 2 here, we do take those. Yeah, can't take this middle cell now here, otherwise the loop would close. And with all of the other dashes we made, whoops, no, for the 1 clue that has to go this way to satisfy it. And there we go. This 1 clue is done. We do have 2 line segments going down this column here. Oh yeah, we have these 2 line segments here for this 2 clue. All of the rest here is dashed. Yeah, this 1 clue is good. This 1 clue, we're going to satisfy the 1-2 pattern here that we found earlier. Now with this dash from the 2, that is disambiguated, so we can mark these off. This 3 clue's done. Yeah, now we just have this 3 clue, and we get that by adding 2 more line segments in that direction in the only place they can go. And that was this monstrous castle wall here. Just adding 1 more direction to a castle wall puzzle really makes it that much harder than solving it on a square grid. I think I'm going to do 1 more puzzle from the 3rd round here before ending this video, so let's move to that. And so we come to the 3rd round here of 8. This round was 1 of 2, which was just purely based on a single genre. So this was Pentominous and variants. Pentominous basically being a genre where you divide the grid into pentominoes, as the title says. And there were some really cool puzzles here. I think I managed to solve this round, yeah, from the start to finish. After I sort of crumbled on some harder puzzles in the 2nd round, I thought it'd be better to just get the easy ones in this one. But then I solved it from start to finish, getting 1 through 9 fairly nicely, almost getting 10, but running out of time. So I could have also started this with the ones at the end. But yeah, besides the regular Pentominous rules here, there were a lot of variants, and I did really like post-solving this 3.11 here, which is a Star Battle Pentominous. So let's get to this over here. We do have the standard Pentominous rules where we divide the grid into pentominoes, and no two pentominoes of the same shape can touch each other orthogonally. And additionally here, we do have a star battle. So a bunch of spaces are stars that do not belong to a pentominoes shape, so this is our 10 by 10 grid. We're going to have 20 stars in it, and then we're going to have 80 spaces that are going to be filled with 16 pentominoes. There we go. It's a little bit scuffed because I just did it on the fly, but it's nice to have the pentomino shape bank here on the side. That's what I had to do too during the actual contest itself. I sort of had the shape bank from the rule set on the side just for reference. But yeah, let's get started with the Star Battle Pentominous here. I think an immediate thing that you can see is the W that's in the corner. So it's definitely going to, where's my pen? It's definitely either going to go up like this or like this. So either way, it definitely takes this cell. This W over here also, being next to this W, has very few options. And I do think this is definitely the corner and it goes up right as well. Because if we do this here, we end up doing this here, which creates these two isolated spaces here. Now, this is kind of okay because we do have the star battle restriction where we do have empty spaces where we need a star. But these are diagonally adjacent, so we can't have that. So we do have a border here. I think I'm going to use blue for pentominoes logic and red for star battle logic, just to make things a little bit clearer. If we do have this W go up at the start, that would give us this W going up here at the start, which sort of creates this isolated pocket of 3, which is not going to work. So this W is actually going to be fixed immediately. We have our shape. Similarly for the F, I think we can definitely include all of these in the F. Since this here, there's only one cell here that can really be placed in a corner. So this there, and it's flipped one of two ways. So I'm going to, I think now is the time where we need to start placing stars. Since we have this bottom area a little bit more restricted here. If we have the W here go like so, we have a possible place for a star here, but then we need another shape going up here. We can't, and then this, yeah, whoops, stars in red. And then this creates a bad situation here because we can't place 2 stars because it would create this weird 3 pocket down here. So in order to be able to place stars on the second to last row, we need to orient the W so that it goes out on the right side. That does give us this one initial star over here. And of course a bunch of spaces that can't be stars. We cannot place a star over here because it would isolate this bottom area. Can't make a pentomino or stars there. So we actually do have only 2 spots where we can put stars in row 9. They go in these spots. We do our F around here. And one of these 2 spots is a star over in row 10. The other does escape a little bit. This place is not a star here. And we have only 2 candidates for stars in row 8 because we can't place a star in these spots because of adjacency. It can only be this spot over here in column 5 and this spot over here in column 8. So we can go up one more with this thing in row 7 and column 7. That is going to be an L shape, either going to the left or to the right down here. Blue dots are definitely a pentomino. But yeah, and that does give us 2 definitely stars in row 7 because of all the space that's covered in row 8. It does give us this thing going up. That's going to be either a C, an L, or a Z. We can also, yeah, we'll blue dot up here to show that all of these are parts of pentominoes, since we have 2 stars in column 1 and 3. I guess we do have an interesting note in columns 6 and 7 over here. In Star Battle, we have the only, for, 10 by 10, we have I guess we have the dead 2 by 2 here if it's on the right parity. Basically, now we can only place one star in each 2 by 2 up above. So that's a maximum of 3 stars up above. So we need a 4th star down here. And that gives us the fixed L. Not really too much else we can say. We need to put 2 stars in this 1 by 5. So these two things are definitely Pentominous. This next step is going to be a little tough. But yeah, this was the start that was fairly gettable during the actual competition itself, but the next step is, yeah. I guess as a quick star battle note, we need stuff in these 2 by 2s. We need one thing in every spot here. I want to say this is the part where you use the P's up above. I don't fully know how, though. Yeah, how did I even post-solve this? Hang on. Right. Column 9. There's going to be 2 stars here. Thinking about stars up above for the P, they are a little bit limiting. If there's a star in this spot, then the P has to go like this. Oh, there can't be a star in this spot, because that would force the P to go like this. And that means we can only place 2 stars in this area, and that breaks those 2 columns. So we do have a red mark that we can put here. There's going to be either a star up here or down here. So we're going to have to put dots there. And that means we can dot these. So those are our star positions in those dominoes in column 9. That gives us a star in one of these positions up above in column 8. And that feeds back down here. We also get dominoes in those spots. We do get another star domino up above. Sadly, that is it, though. Oh yeah, one more domino here. And actually, yeah, that gives us 2 more dominoes up above in column 4. And now we have 2 dominoes in the top 2 rows, which gives us these stars. That is pretty amazing. So now we can use these to maybe help us with the P, because I feel like the star in this domino is going to heavily restrict the P. Now we can't have a star in this position because that would give us this thing here, so this star has to go up above. And I think that either way the star goes here, we do have a P that needs to go down. Star in this spot means, yeah, we have this P or this P as our only two options, and a star in this position does also mean we need that. So our P is going to go like this. That gives us our stars in these positions, or we can dot the rest. That also means we can't have a star here, because that's going to force both of these stars, whoops, that is a crappy star. That's going to force both these dominoes to shift upwards as well. So this is going to be a star in this position. This star is going to move down. This star is going to move up. This star is going to move up as well. And there we have all of our stars. They're all placed. Now we just need to make pentominoes around those. We have our P orientation fixed now. I'm going to, yeah, if we wall this off, we get a break, so we have to make all these little small connections that we can. Yeah, now we just wall off these stars to make things a little bit clearer for us. P and N still have a bunch of ways they could go, so let's check out the rest first. Oh, the P definitely takes this 2 by 2 here. I mean, taking this 2x2 is the other option, but that leaves this dead end here. So we take this 2x2, and it either goes here, here, or here. This bit has to go down then. This bit goes up here. This area on the right has walls in these spots because this is a 10 cell area that basically only has this spot to connect to the rest. But if there is a connection here, then we won't be able to divide this area into 5s on the right. So that's pretty good here. That gives us this here, which can't go up because it would connect to a 6 area, so it does go to the right, and then either makes an F or a C, a U. It does not connect to the N. I do want to say this restricts the N a lot. Yeah, so, since it can't go horizontal anymore because this N is walled on both sides, so it goes vertical. There's only 2 options here now. Either it goes up or it goes down here. This definitely takes 2 more to the left. The only thing that can take this cell here now is the P, so we have that narrowed down. We have this connection up top. This takes 2 more going down. That gives us our U, and that gives us our I. This is going to turn into a Y. And now we're going to have to try to figure out how to fill in the rest here. This definitely goes down 1 spot. Yeah, we sort of have a flip-flop where this can either be an N going up, a Y going down, a U going down, or this N can go down, this can turn into an L, and this can turn into an F going up. This would connect here. But this would make this go into a Y because it can't be an F, and the rest is forced to be an N, which connects to another N. So this flip-flop is resolved in this way, where the N goes up, we have a Y going down, U going down, this N can't go over here, so it goes down, and we have the rest finished here. One more quick ending. This has to go down because going here would make 2 Z's connect, and going here would make 2 U's connect, so done. And that is the third puzzle here. So I hope you enjoyed these. I'm going to try and make a fourth one. No, I'm going to try and make another video soon with some more puzzles from rounds 4 to 8. So stay tuned for that.